And that wraps up World Service programmes for Tuesday. This is BBC Radio 5 on 909 and 693 AM.
And hello, this is Five-a-Side. First, the news headlines from Julian Worricker.
Good afternoon. The Conservative Party chairman, Chris Patten, has said the government won't be panicked into desperate measures to end the recession. He said the fundamentals were in place for economic recovery, and it was vital for Tories to keep their nerve. The London stock market ended 1991 on an optimistic note, largely prompted by record trading on Wall Street. The 100-share index closed 73 points higher, its biggest one-day increase of the year. Police in Oxfordshire are questioning two men in connection with an acid attack on a 74-year-old widow in Banbury last Friday. Joan Cooper is still in a poorly but stable condition in Warwick Hospital. And a woman in her 80s has been raped at her home in Leicester. She's being comforted by relatives, and police hope she'll soon be well enough to give a full description of her attacker. There'll be more news and sport at 5 o'clock.
And also in this evening's Five-a-Side, while everybody else reviews this year, we bring you our review of 1992.
We'll speculate on the language of next year, and our series on the unexplained focuses on crop circles.
And with music tonight from UB40, Gallagher and Lyle, and first Eddie and the Hot Rod.
The Rods and Do Anything You Want to Do, kicking off this New Year's Eve edition of Five-a-Side with Sue McGarry and Julian Worricker.
And in about 5 or 10 minutes' time, we'll be joined by our linguist David Crystal. Now, we'll be talking about abbreviations, because I suppose of all the days of the year, today's the day when abbreviations abound, what with MBEs, CBEs and OBEs floating around. David will be joining us, talking about our use of abbreviations and also speculating a little bit on our use of language in 1992 and the expressions and lingo that we'll be using next year. Now, talking of next year, we're also doing something a little bit strange on tonight's programme, reviewing 1992. What's going to be happening in next year's news and also the technology of next year. That's all after the news and sport at 5 o'clock. It's 18 minutes to 5.
In the next hour of Five-a-Side, something a little bit different for New Year's Eve, our review of 1992. Yes, we'll be looking at how technology will have changed, and our Irish songster, Eamon Free, will be strumming a tune about next year as well. We've also got news of what you can bet on happening in 1992, all sorts of strange things possible there. And also in the next hour, some more of those wonderful radio bloopers we've been running in the last few days from Jonathan Hewitt.
Forecast now, overnight it'll become windy over most of the country with gales in northern areas. It'll be cloudy everywhere with a band of rain edging southward in Northern Ireland and Scotland, but much of England and Wales will remain dry. The rain will stay in the north tomorrow and most areas will remain cloudy and quite windy, but mild.
Five-a-Side, listening to the UK on 909 and 693 AM. BBC Radio 5.
It's 5 o'clock on New Year's Eve. We'll have the sport in a few minutes, but first the news. There are warnings the Conservatives won't be panicked into desperate measures. Shares have their big...